Makes all of us happy. More excited about where we are. You got it.
This is the highlight of the week, maybe the month.
I agree.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
So just your feelings on this day and the official kind of groundbreaking for the new ice rink.
It just pumps everything up a little more. I mean, it's exciting. It's taken obviously a lot of work. Very generous gift by Terry and Kim Pagula, and a lot of work from the administration, leadership from the university, and Joe Batista has had this vision of his for a long time. But to see it all happening, to have this day come, it gets you a little more jacked up. It's exciting, more and more exciting every day.
So talk about the recruiting aspect, how much this is going to help the recruiting aspect of the men's program.
Well, it's going to be huge, I think, especially in the Big Ten Conference. You're competing against the best programs in the conference, and they all have great traditions, a lot of success, a lot of very successful alumni, and they have great buildings too. And for us to compete at that level, we're going to need to step up, and I think the Pagula Ice Arena does exactly that.
Tell me about your feelings about being in a Big Ten Conference hockey program and seeing that become a reality because of the step up to Division I.
For me, it's extremely exciting. I think, like I said, it's expected to be the premier conference in college hockey with the best programs, the most storied programs. So to be a part of that is extremely exciting, and it's an honor, and to have a great institution like Penn State join it, it's a tremendous. It's sort of what you dream about as a coach, and the fact that we get to build the program and see how we can compete at the absolute highest levels. You don't want anything more than that as a coach.
And what's the plan for the next year and a half before this actually becomes a reality?
Well, we're going to be a Division I program and independent. We're not going to be in a conference. The Big Ten Conference starts with the opening of the Pagula Ice Arena in 2013. So we'll be an independent. We'll compete in Division I, but as an independent. So we've got a lot of work to do to building the foundation, a lot of work developing players to get them to be the best they can be, because we're jumping in with both feet. We're going to be playing the best teams in the conference, in the nation. So we're going to have to try to get as good as we can in a short amount of time.
Obviously, the recruiting aspect, we talked a little bit about that, but how does that change your strategy on recruiting from what you've done in the past to what you're going to be doing now to lead up to being in the Big Ten?
Well, you always want the best players available, whether you're at an institution like Alaska or Princeton, where you're trying to get the best student athletes. There's different aspects of who you recruit. Here, we're trying to get the very best student athletes for Penn State, and you certainly, the pressure's on to get darn good ones because of who we're going to be competing against. So the philosophy stays the same. You always want to be as good as you can. You want to get great student athletes that get Penn State, they're serious about academics and serious about being the best people they can, and you got to make sure they're great hockey players too.
Guy, talking about that, you've got a lot of players from this past year's team coming back to the varsity program next year. Talk a bit about that.
Well, we actually will have 15. I mean, they're and they've all proven that they understand what we're about. They understand the foundation that we're trying to create. I'm not talking about only on the ice and what we want to accomplish there, but off the ice and in the classroom, and what kind of standards they want to set in the weight room around the community. They all get it. I'm very, very honored to have those guys as part of our first D1 program, because they understand the foundation. They're great representatives of Penn State, and we're going to move forward.
How often are you going by the hole in the ground and watching progress?
You know what? I drive by one. I promised myself, after I was doing it all the time, I promised myself, all right, just relax, just stop doing it. But I can't. You can't help yourself but come and look and see what's going on now. So it's fantastic. Every time you see something a little bit new, it gets the juices flowing even more.
Coach, you've been around the country a lot in your various positions. What arena sets the bar for you in terms of niceness, fans, whatever?
Well, this one is going to, and I think what makes this so special, it's going to be a beautiful arena, but I think the Penn State students are what's going to make it so special. I've been fortunate enough to see how they operate and how they perform at other sports venues here on campus, and I think they're just going to love this arena. The student section is as steep as code will allow, so they're going to be right on top of the action. They're going to have a blast. It's going to be so much fun for them, and I think the student section is going to make this just a whole new deal. So when you ask what sets the bar, I think Penn State's going to set the bar.
Guy, you had the virtual tour over at what we refer to as the holodeck at the Advanced Research Lab. You came away like a kid in a candy store.
Yeah, it's really neat. When you get to walk through instead of just look at pictures and feel, you actually can go to the top of the student section, look down, and really feel how close you are to the action, how on top it is. It's a whole new different feel for appreciation for how beautiful this building's going to be and how great it's going to be for the fans. So that was quite an experience.
What's the excitement level from some of your players? Falling off their faces?
Yeah, I mean, they're they're as excited as it's funny because there's excitement here at Penn State, and then there's excitement all over North America about the Big Ten, college hockey, everything, and they get to live all of it. I mean, they look at the whole as much as I do. I mean, they're as excited. They can't wait to get going, and I think they're very excited to be a part of the program, and obviously very excited about the home that they'll get to have.
Now, would you be how is the Greenberg Ice Pavilion is it going to fit for D1 games? How many are going to be there?
Well, you know what? We don't have a choice. We're going to have right now approximately 15. We might move a couple of them off to a neutral site, but we are going to play Division I hockey in Greenberg, and it's a place that served this program very well. Obviously, it's not to the same size, standards, whatever, as many of the Division I programs that we'll be competing against, but I think we're going to have a great last year in it. Like I said, it served this program extremely well, and I think it's a great place to watch a game. I think it's a little bit of a microcosm of what we're going to see. The fans in there love it, and it's pretty intimate, so I think it's a great build-up for what we're going to see in 2013.
They came out with the sites for the Big Ten championships recently. Is there any way the Pagula will be down the road? Will that be a site down the road?
Maybe not this building. I think they're going to look at neutral sites, but certainly we plan down the road to have a site closer to obviously looking at a few other options. But those are two buildings. If you look at the success of the St. Louis in Detroit, I mean, it's been very successful, and now you get the top programs in those conferences that come together in Big Ten, and I think it's going to be tremendous.
Now, did you see any when you went through the virtual tour and looking at the designs? Did you see any
The one thing that I think is tremendous is I used to play in Old Christian Park Arena. It was the Flyers farm team, and their stands were extremely steep, and it was a tough place to play because of it. I think you felt like the fans were right on top of you, and when you walk around the arena, especially by the student section, you really get that feeling. So that was one of the aspects of it that I thought was tremendous.
You mentioned the finalist spots for the Big Ten tournament. What are your thoughts on the tournament format? I know all 16 are going to be making it.
I think it's fun. I think it's exciting when you have that type of format where you win a game and you move on, and it's typical of what other conferences have done. So I support it. I think it's going to be great for the fans. I think it's for the student athletes, and every game is going to be very exciting.
Okay. Great.
How are you?
Hi.